What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, the standard base game car, the Bolt Chapman. This isn't your standard Bolt Chapman, though. This is the Livery Restomod, modded into the game by Zaraki. I really hope I pronounced that name correctly. If you want to get this version of it, just head over to the Steam Workshop. I will include a link in the description below, so you can head over and grab this version. So far, it's looking quite good. It's lowered more than the others. It's got a beast of a V8 engine in it. This has got in it at the moment the CGM V8 engine. I'm going to keep it as the CGM because I haven't worked on one of them yet, I don't think. I was going to change it to the supercharged, but this does already have 485 horsepower. So we're going to keep it with that. And we're going to modify this engine. We're going to put performance parts in it. We're going to make this one as fast as we can. This is going to be our little Lowrider Restomod build. It's got full disc brakes all the way around. A few things changed. It's got bench seats in the front when I replace them. This one's going to be a lot of fun. Let's head over to the car wash and get this one cleaned up, ready to start working on. Here we are then at the car wash. Steering wheel's on the left-hand side, so we're on the side of the car wash. Let's get it cleaned and have a look at this colour. Very bad condition, very brown. Quite like it, hides all the rust quite well. Not what we're going for. Let's get the interior cleaned up. Let's get it back on the lift, and then let's rip this engine out and get ready to start stripping this car down. So let's start stripping this one down. Has got 2 fuel tanks at the back there. I'm just going to get all of this off, and then we'll work on getting that gearbox out. All of the exhaust, the drive shaft all out. Just got to get this starter off, and then grab that gearbox out of there. Couple of rusty bolts on that one, nothing too special. Now, we did obviously see that the oil pan was there, so we do know that we need to drain that oil. So let's grab the oil drain. Over you go. Let's get you drained and get this engine ripped out. Hopefully this comes out first time. Nice and easy. That's always a good one to see. That came out very easy. Let's get this engine bay sorted out next. First off, we do have to drain all of the liquids, so let's crack on with that. And by the magic of television, they are all drained. So let's start stripping this engine bay out. We have all the reservoirs, obviously. We've got a battery, that's good. We can throw that one on charge. Hopefully, some of this will be repairable. I can't remember if these are or not. I'm not 100%, so we'll check that in a little while. But let's get the rest of this engine bay stripped out. We've got the ECU up there. We've got the radiator and the fans, and my favourite air filter cover, the one that is bolted down rather than the little clips. Let's get you out, and then all we've got left is the fuse box. Quite a few fuses in here, so I'm going to strip this, and then we're going to get that suspension taken apart. Got the car up in the air. Let's have a look at what suspension we've got. Let's get this wheel off. Double wishbone with the main shock absorber right there and the central cross member. Nice and simple at the front. We know what we're dealing with there. Let's have a look at the back. We have the coil spring rear axle drive with the solid axle control arms and the suspension pieces. Nothing too special on there. I'm going to get all of this stripped, and then we're going to go strip that lovely V8 engine down, see what we've got to work with. Everything is stripped off of the Bolt Chapman. I just got to get all of these body panels off now. Not too much on here, so let's just grab it all off. Well, at least I don't think there's not too much on here. Everything seems in very, very bad condition, though. But I think once we get this interior out, that's pretty much it. One bench, one steering wheel. Keep moving. Anyway. That's pretty much this entire body stripped. So now let's go and get that lovely V8 engine stripped down. Got to put that battery on charge ready for later. And let's chuck the engine on here. And let's have a look what we are working with. This beast of a V8. Let's get stuck in. What do we need? Roller off first. Then get some belts off. Lovely jubbly. We do have what I believe is this intake manifold here with the fuel rails and the throttle. No turbos by the looks of it. Nothing overly fancy on this one. Got some lovely ignition coils on the top here. I wonder how much of this can be painted. I'm going to get on. Missed that. I'm going to get on and strip most of this down. I'll catch you guys in a few moments. We'll have a deeper look inside of this engine. So we have got most of this engine stripped down. In here, though, I thought we would have camshafts, double overhead, but we've got the rocker arms in here instead. So I've got to get all of these wonderful pieces out along with the push rods that go with them. This is not my favourite part of doing engines on this channel. I'm going to get through one side, get this head off and have a look what's underneath. Hopefully it'll be something a little bit cool, a little bit fancy. So I'm going to skip over this part. Okay, got all of that out. It's time to get this engine head off. Let's have a look what we have underneath here. One last bolt. There we go. That's a weird setup. I haven't seen this one before with the valve pushrod holes going in there. Quite nice. We do have a timing cover, so let's get this one off as well and have a look underneath it. Timing chain. There we go. Lovely timing chain. Lovely cam gear. That'll be on the camshaft. So this engine lists itself as a double overhead cam, but that's a single cam there, so I don't really know. Let's dig in. Let's go a little bit further. Let me get this other engine head off, and then it's just the pistons and the oil pan underneath. Now, I don't know whether that's just me being an idiot, but I thought a double overhead cam engine, the DOHC, had 2 cams overhead. This is an overhead cam. Obviously, the engine's tilted on its side right now, but it is only a single cam. Is that me just being an idiot? You know, is that not how the system works? If it's double overhead cam, does it not have 2 cams overhead? Let me know in the comments below. If I'm just being an idiot for the world to see, then so be it. But I'd just like to know the difference. Why is it called a double overhead cam engine with just a single overhead cam? Anyway, I'm going to get this engine stripped. Then we're going to get some stuff repaired. And then I'll meet you back by the body when we get that frame all sorted out before we put all the shiny new body panels on it and send it over to the paint shop. Everything's sorted on the Bolt Chapman. I just got to sort this frame out. Obviously, we got that engine stripped down. Still a bit bizarre about that one. Suspension's all off. Body panels are all off. Let's get this frame sorted out. 1050, not bad. I'm assuming that was bad condition. I didn't actually check. Let's get that done. And then let's get the body panels back on. And now before we throw all the body panels back on, this is actually a different brown than I thought it was. It's actually quite a nice colour. And I like the way that this is a slightly different colour. Anyway, not what I was going for. For the Bolt Chapman, I was buying license plate last. You've got the bodywork station where you find all of the body panels you will need for it. But if you go into the body tuning, there's another selection with alternative bumpers, headlights and mirrors. I have bought all the alternate parts to go on this. So let's get this car all back together. I have also sorted out the interior. So I'm going to crack on and get this finished. And then we'll head over to the paint shop and see what lovely colour we're going to pick for this Bolt Chapman. I have got some liveries to choose from. Everything back on the Bolt Chapman. It is looking quite nice. We've got the double bench seats in the interior. Quite smart in that one. I like it. The alternative headlights, I'm hoping that's a paintable surround on there, along with the paintable bumpers on the alternative parts, hopefully both front and back. And also I've gone for my virtual mechanic lowrider license plates that say buy a hybrid, I need the gas. Very nice. Let's head over to the paint shop. I know I've got some liveries in there to check out. I've got some decisions to make. So I'll catch you guys over there once I've picked. Here is what we've gone for on the lovely Bolt Chapman, this lovely lowrider livery. I will include a link in the description below to this one. It is quite nice. It goes really well with this blue because you've got like the electric blue marbling effect in the black stripes here, along with this glorious, lovely pinstripe details in the white with a little bit of blue in there as well, running up the sides. Absolutely fantastic. Very happy of how this one turned out. Just got to now try and match some of this pearl blue to some of the ancillary products in the engine bay. Probably going to black out most of the underneath there with some of this pearl blue in the suspension, maybe on the brakes and stuff like that. That's pretty much going to be what we're going to go for. The engine bay, as you can see, it's like a matte colour in here, so it's a bit lighter. So we might have to change how we match it just ever so slightly, but that's a problem for me to deal with. Let's crack on and let's get this suspension back together, get it all back on this lovely Bolt Chapman Lowrider. Can't wait, Restomod. Can't wait to get this one finished. Catch you guys in a moment. Back from the paint shop, everything is painted. Let's have a look. Now I've gone for 2 different blues on here. These are both pearl blues. So we've got a light pearl blue and a darker pearl blue on there. And I'm thinking they look pretty good. You've got the 2 different blues showing up quite nicely, and there is quite a nice bit of difference between them. So let's go and chuck some stuff on the car and have a look at what colours I have decided to go for in the end. Because black came out of it a little bit. It's still in there. So we've got a dark pearl blue on this lovely, lovely cross member here Obviously, that piece can't be painted. The suspension arms are in a chrome black. I think they look very, very tasty in there. Let's get the other one of them on just so we can have a look. Let's throw the suspension in and see how that looks in comparison with the rest of it. The two different blues. I really like that. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I wasn't sure whether I was going to like it on the car or not. But that actually looks great. One last coloured piece to have a look at. We just need to get that brake caliper on there and see how well that blue went on. This was a little bit of fiddling, but that's actually incredible. Very happy with how that looks. And we've just gone for a chrome black centre hub there. That's looking amazing. Very happy with that. I'm going to get the front finished off here, and we'll join back together at the back when we look at some of the colours I've thrown on there and which way I've thrown the colours on. So I'll see you there in a bit. Let's have a look what we've got going on at the rear then. This coil spring rear drive axle is in that lovely pearl blue there. The shock absorbers are in the lighter pearl blue, and then the spring caps are in the black, with the springs themselves being in that darker pearl blue. Again, looking really nice on there. Obviously, this is not painted. This is in the black, looking really nice. And that is pretty much it, apart from the brake calipers for the colours on the rear end. So let's just jump forward to there. We've already seen how they look on the front, and it is looking quite nice. I'm happy with how it came out. But let's just get these rear ones on and have a look. I'm really... that's actually a really, really good match. I'm happy with how they've matched. This is all looking fantastic. I'm going to get on and get the rest of this all finished up. And then we'll get that engine bay sorted out, ready for that shiny engine when it's built. See you in a minute. All the suspension there sorted, looking amazing in this pearl blue, or these pearl blues, and that chrome black. I am very happy with how this turned out, both front and back. It is looking amazing. But let's get this engine bay sorted out. Now, I have painted a few bits in here. I don't 100% know how they turn out, so let's start with the air filter base. That's not bad. That's not in a pearl, that is in a chrome, because the pearl did really not want to go onto that. But that's looking quite nice. Not in a chrome, it's in a gloss, sorry. That's looking quite nice. I'm happy with how that turned out. Where's our little fuse box gone? Because this is another painted item. This is a slightly different colour. As you can see, this is in a pearl, in the pearl blue, which is matching. That's looking really cool. I'll get that the innards of that fuse box finished out shortly. Let's just get the rest of this stuff back in. I haven't picked up my battery yet, so I won't be putting that one back in. But let's just check that we have got everything else. ABS unit in, all the reservoirs hopefully just go straight in. That looks weird. Oh, it's just a tyre going through it. And then the radiator, along with the radiator fan housing kit. Nice, that is all on there. I'm going to get this fuse box finished off. I think that's everything. I should probably throw the fuel tanks in, but I can't do that till I'm underneath, so that can wait. I'll get all these fuses in, and then we're going to go and build that beautiful engine. I cannot wait. In fact, I may even do the wheels in the meantime, because you don't need the engine in to do the wheels on this one. Here we are then with the rims. Let's have a look. These are the rim 26As, looking lovely. 17 inches on all four corners. I went for the white wall tyres. There is a chance I'm probably going to have to swap these to slicks just to hit the top speed, but I will put the white walls back on them. Also, I've put the battery in. I've painted these in a white chrome, so I just went into the chrome setting and changed the colour to white. It comes out in this really, only a little bit more shiny than the standard colour of the rims, but it's a bit more shiny, a bit more in your face. Now, the fronts here, these are a 215 width with a 45 profile. Now, that is what comes with it standardly anyway, and I kept the same wheels and the same tyres. Obviously not the same tyres, but the rears are a 255 width with a 40 profile, so a smaller profile but a wider tyre on the back. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I did toy with black rims, white rims, the pearl blue, both the lighter and the darker pearl blue, but I settled with the chrome ones in the end. I think they look really nice along with this chrome detailing around the front here. It is making me debate whether to change the bumpers, but I do quite like these darker bumpers at the moment, but we may come back to that later on. But at the moment, this is looking amazing, very happy, but we have to go and get that engine built, ready to be dropped into it. So let's get started with that. Now, the engine block is painted in a light pearl blue. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. There's a few bits painted on this one. I know I said I was going to keep most of it black, but I was wrong. I wasn't going to. I started it, and then I saw that the blues actually went really nice on the engine. So let's see how it turned out. This is a first build together, so I'm going to crack on with a lot of this stuff, and we'll jump back in a few moments. Sometimes when the item that takes the paint takes two different colors, for example, on the engine block here, we've got like the dark pearl and the light pearl. It actually works to your benefit if you can match the colors, because I've got obviously the power steering pump in the light pearl matching the top up here and a bit of light pearl down here. This is painted in a pearl blue, but obviously it was yellow, so it just came out green, but that's not too bad. Let's get one of these heads on. This is in the lighter pearl. Obviously, the outside of it stays in the performance parts sort of chromey colour. But the inside and a few little strips here and there have actually turned out really nicely. Obviously, we can't paint the manifolds. We all know that already. But they're looking pretty tasty in their chrome anyway. And the fuel filter is in the red. Now, I'm going to crack on and get a bit more of this done. Sadly, we couldn't paint the water pump, which was a bit disappointing. But we have got more pieces to go on. So I'm going to get both these heads on and all the innards filled up. And we'll see how it looks towards the end. One side of this beautiful V8 finished. As you can see, now this intake manifold here wouldn't take the pearl paint very well. It stayed very dull, a bit boring. I did manage to sort of match a gloss as close as I could to it. It is the same gloss that is in the air filter housing inside the engine bay. But then the heads here, the head cover is in the dark pearl color, and then the ignition coils are in the light pearl along with the throttle. It is looking really nice, and obviously the fuel rails, they're in that light pearl as well. Last few bits to go on this engine, and then it is finished, and we can drop it in the lovely Lowrider Chapman, or the Restomod Chapman, whatever you want to call it. It looks a bit like a lowrider to me, so that's what I'm going with. This is this engine finished, and I'm happy with it. I wish that these modified engine heads had more paint that went on them to cover up these bits, and also it'd be nice if you could have painted this water pump. It would have definitely helped out with the colour of this engine just a little bit more, but it is still looking fantastic. So let's get it off the engine stand and let's get it dropped back into the Bolt Chapman. First fitting, let's see how it goes. Hopefully it goes in really nice. Hopefully it looks really good. Let's find out. Oh, that's looking pretty incredible actually, and that colour onto there is very similar, not identical, but very similar. But that is looking great inside that engine bay. Very, very happy with how that's turned out. Let's just give that a close. You can see it is a slightly different pearl on there, but it is still looking great. Got all the levels to fill up here. I've also got the gearbox to put in there. So I'm going to crack on with that, and hopefully this car will be finished. Catch you guys in a moment. Already got the gearbox and drive shaft in. That gearbox is in a lovely matching blue. Actually looking really nice, and the starter's also painted as well in there. But let's get all of these exhaust pieces back together. I've also got to put my fuel tanks in because I haven't thrown them in yet. That wouldn't let me select it. These are both pearled out, looking lovely. I wish I could have pearled out the tips of these exhausts because that would have just looked that little bit better, just popping out the end. Here we are then with the finished Bolt Chapman, the base game car, looking absolutely lovely with that engine. Very, very happy with how that's turned out in the lovely matching blues. The wheels are looking incredible, but standard size, so very easy to come by if you download this configuration. Shout out to Zaraki, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that correctly, I probably butchered it, I'm so sorry, who is the one that uploaded the config to the Steam Workshop. I will include a link in the description below if you want to go and get this lowered engine swapped version of the Bolt Chapman, and then to this lovely, lovely livery which was uploaded to the Steam Workshop by PANAYOTIS⑭. Again, I'm probably butchering that, pronouncing it totally wrong. I do apologise, but a link will be in the description below to get this livery to go with it because it is looking fantastic. They've done amazing jobs both on the configs and the liveries with all the white and blue pinstriping, the marbling detail inside the black panels here. Everywhere around the car, it just looks absolutely fantastic. Very, very happy with how this one turned out. But let's jump in and see what she sounds like. There ain't much room in there, is there? I wouldn't get my legs under that. Anyway, let's see what she sounds like. Very meaty rumble there. Very, very meaty rumble. Just a heavy, hard hitter. Lovely rumbly V8 there. Let's get it onto the dyno and see what horsepower it's got. Dyno up and running with the 485 horsepower V8 double overhead cam CGM engine from the Bolt Chapman. The Livery Restomod. How much have we added with performance parts today? 338 horsepower, an additional 70%. That's incredible. Putting our total horsepower up to 822. I'm going to regret them white walls instead of slicks. So maybe we'll give it a go. We'll see how it turns out. It may be slicks by the time we get there. I'll catch you guys over at the track. Here we are then at the speed track. I have put slicks on the back of this just to help them stick. I did give it 2 runs. It was just sliding everywhere. So let's get the power down. Let's go. Hopefully this will hold better. Very heavy acceleration at the beginning for the first 3 gears. Up into 5th gear already. 6th gear. We are coming up towards the 300 kilometers an hour mark. There it is. What are we going to get to with this Bolt Chapman? It's still accelerating well. That's going to hit 350. Will we hit 400? Maybe. No. 381 kilometers an hour from this lowrider. Here we are then with the finished Bolt Chapman and its lovely lowrider livery in its Restomod configuration. Looking insane. That engine looking beautiful. I'm very happy with how that turned out. Very happy with how the entire car turned out, really. The only thing I don't like is the bench seat and how high the steering wheel is against it. But never mind, it does look sweet. And 381 kilometers an hour is a very respectable speed, putting it 25th in our leaderboard. Same as the Jaguar XJS, just under halfway down. Pretty good out of 53, so very happy with that. Let's go into some facts and figures. Now, when I bought this car, I did buy it from the auction house, as you can see there. I did spend quite a bit on it. It was 23,559, and I did spend 43,433 buying parts for it today, putting our total spend at 66,992. Against the sale price of 109,186, pits our profit at 42,194. Very good profit, but it is time to say goodbye to the lovely Bolt Chapman. It is a thing of beauty. I'm very happy with how it turned out. There is another lowrider config on the Steam Workshop, which I'm looking forward to trying. And obviously, if you want to try this one yourself, the livery and the config are in the description below, so you can go and download them yourself. But let's say goodbye to the Bolt Chapman. You were a lot of fun. Goodbye, my friend. That was good. I enjoyed that one. Up next, we have the Aston Martin Vanquish. This isn't a V12. Oh, sorry, Vanquish Vantage. It's not the V12, it is just the standard V8. It has got the AXK engine in it at the moment. We are going to change that one to the supercharged and put a load of performance parts on that one for next time. As regards to the body, I don't know. I haven't even looked in the store to see what we can do with it yet. So you'll have to tune in next time to see what we do with this one. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Do remember to leave a like if you did. Give me a comment. Let me know what you think, how you think this is going. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.